Imagine Wall Street, a colossal machine of finance, driven by seasoned traders, analysts, and billionaires. Now, imagine a 15-year-old kid sitting in his bedroom in suburban New Jersey, armed with nothing but a computer and an internet connection. This kid didn't just play the market, he rigged it. He became the first miner in history to be charged by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, for orchestrating a sophisticated stock manipulation scheme, making hundreds of thousands of dollars and leaving a trail of shattered dreams in his wake. How did a teenager pull off one of the most audacious financial cons of the early internet age? His name was Jonathan Lebed. In the late 1990s, the internet was exploding. The dot-com bubble was inflating, and suddenly, anyone with a dial-up connection could become an investor. The stock market, once an exclusive club, was opening its digital doors to the masses. Jonathan was just 13 when he first dipped his toes into this brave new world of online stock trading. From his quiet bedroom, he opened online brokerage accounts set up by his father, though Jonathan made all the trading decisions. But Jonathan wasn't interested in slow, steady growth. He saw an opportunity in the wild west of online forums, a chance to bend the market to his will. By August 1999, at just 14 years old, Jonathan had perfected his craft. His weapon of choice? Yahoo Finance message boards. These were the digital town squares of the early internet, where investors swapped tips, rumors, and speculation. Jonathan, however, wasn't there to exchange ideas. He was there to plant them. He'd secretly buy shares of a low-priced, often obscure stock. Then, he'd unleash a torrent of messages, hundreds of them, all identical, all under different fictitious names. Each message a siren's song, screaming about the next big thing, predicting astronomical rises, spreading false and misleading information. He was a one-boy marketing machine, creating an illusion of widespread excitement and insider knowledge. And it worked. The unsuspecting public, eager for quick riches, started biting. What Jonathan Lebed was doing from his bedroom was a classic pump and dump scheme, perfectly adapted for the nascent internet. It's a three-act play of deception. Act 1, the buy. The manipulator, in this case Jonathan, quietly buys a significant chunk of a cheap, often unknown stock. He needs enough shares to profit, but not so much that his initial purchase tips anyone off. Act 2, the pump. This is where the magic happens. Jonathan would flood online forums, chat rooms, and message boards with a deluge of hyped up, often completely fabricated information about his chosen stock. He'd use multiple aliases, making it seem like a broad consensus was forming around this can't-miss investment. Ordinary investors, seeing this overwhelming buzz, would rush in, believing they were getting in on a hot tip. This surge of buying artificially inflates the stock's price, sometimes dramatically. And then, Act 3, the dump. Once the price had soared, Jonathan would swiftly sell all his shares, cashing in on the inflated value. He'd typically do this within 24 hours of starting the pump, often using preset limit sell orders, so he could even be in high school while his profits rolled in. The moment he dumped his shares, the artificial demand vanished. The stock price would inevitably crash, often within hours, leaving those who bought into the hype holding the bag, stuck with worthless shares and devastating losses. It was a digital con, executed with ruthless efficiency. For the average investor caught in the frenzy, the only warning sign might have been the overwhelming, almost unbelievable positivity surrounding a stock that, just yesterday, no one had heard of. But for anyone paying closer attention, the cracks were there. Hundreds of identical messages, all pushing the same obscure stock, often appearing within minutes of each other, under different disposable names, that alone should have screamed manipulation. The meteoric rise and equally sudden collapse of these stocks, sometimes within a single trading day, was a clear signature of a market being played, not one operating on fundamental value. Yet, in the wild west of the early internet, where everyone chased the next quick buck, many were blind to these obvious red flags, seduced by the promise of instant wealth. The SEC, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, is the watchdog of Wall Street. And even they were unprepared for a fraudster operating from teenagers' bedroom. but Jonathan's audacious schemes. His relentless pumping of 11 specific stocks eventually caught their attention. By September 2000, after months of investigation, the SEC had built their case. They identified the distinct patterns, the hundreds of identical messages, the rapid buying and selling. On September 20th, 2000, the SEC announced it had settled civil fraud charges against Jonathan Lebed. The news exploded globally the very next day. The U.S. government had prosecuted a minor, a 15-year-old, for stock market manipulation. It was an unprecedented moment, signaling a new frontier in financial crime and enforcement. SEC Chairman Arthur Levitt publicly condemned Lebed's actions, and Enforcement Director Richard H. Walker commented on the novelty of prosecuting a minor, while Jonathan Lebed was making hundreds of thousands of dollars from his bedroom. A very different reality was unfolding for his victims. These weren't faceless corporations. They were ordinary people, often first-time investors, seduced by the promise of easy money. Imagine Sarah, a single mother in 1999, meticulously saving every penny for her daughter's college fund. She's browsing Yahoo Finance, trying to make smart choices when she sees it. Hundreds of posts, seemingly from different enthusiastic investors, all raving about a penny stock, calling it the next Microsoft, the next big thing. Convinced by the overwhelming, almost viral buzz, Sarah invests a significant portion of her hard-earned savings, dreaming of a brighter future for her child. But within days, sometimes hours, the stock price collapses. Her investment, her hopes, her daughter's future all evaporate into thin air. She's left with near-worthless shares and the crushing realization that her trust was betrayed, her savings stolen, not by some shadowy corporate titan, but by a teenager. The SEC alleged Jonathan made $272,826 in illegal profits from just 11 trades. His lawyer, his actual total earnings were estimated closer to $800,000. And while he settled with the SEC for $285,000, including prejudgment interest, he reportedly retained approximately $500,000 from other trades not pursued. For Sarah and countless others like her, there was no settlement, only loss. Jonathan Lebed's case sent shockwaves through the financial world and the burgeoning internet. It exposed a gaping vulnerability, how easily trust could be manufactured and exploited in a nascent digital landscape. But perhaps most chilling was Jonathan himself. In a 60 Minutes interview that aired just weeks after the settlement, he famously declared, "I'm not aware of one investor that exists that I cheated," showing a striking, almost defiant lack of remorse. Even his father publicly expressed pride in his son's intelligence and trading prowess, seemingly unconcerned by the ethical implications. Jonathan Lebed, the first minor charged by the SEC, was a financial prodigy. Yes, but one whose genius was applied to deception. He continued to be involved in stock promotion years later, owning Lebed Biz LLC. His story is a stark reminder that in the relentless pursuit of wealth, the lines between innovation and manipulation can blur, and the human cost, though often unseen, is always real. And in a world where online influence can be bought and sold, the question remains, are we truly any safer today from the digital puppet masters pulling the strings?